Up next is Action TV.
The anarchic situation that had arisen around the Wallace Muller Zonal Education Office by February this year was corrected after Action TV carried an expose on the issue on the 21st of February. The cause of the anarchic situation at the office was that an individual who was to retire on the 6th of February forcefully held on to the position of Zonal Education Director, making ad hoc decisions. Following the Action TV's expose, the individual in question resigned the position and another official was appointed in an acting capacity to the position of Zonal Education Director on the 11th of March. The official was appointed in an acting capacity since he was recruited to Sri Lanka Education Administrative Service on a surplus cadre basis following a recommendation by the committee responsible for dealing with actions of political vengeance. This official assumed duties as the acting Zonal Education Director for Wallace Muller 5 months and 26 days before he was due to retire. Given that this official was appointed in an acting capacity and that he would hold the position for less than 6 months, certain responsibilities vested in the position of Zonal Education Director was disregarded. An example is the negligence shown to the report of an investigation by the Wallace Muller Divisional Education Director into allegations made by parents of a student at the Wallace Muller Model Primary School that their child was enrolled to the school and then removed 2 weeks later in an ad hoc fashion. The parents also alleged that the authorities at the school had destroyed their child's books and altered the school register to make it appear that the child had never studied there. The mother of another lodged a complaint with the Divisional Education Director that the school authorities have falsified documents to enable the enrollment of her child to this school in violation of circulars issued for the same. This mother also furnished the Divisional Education Director with the falsified document. However, the Zonal Education Director has failed to take any action in this regard, even when the falsification of documentation is an offence that is punishable under the Penal Code. As per the Public Administration Circular number 24 of 2011, the official in question can no longer function in an acting capacity or hold the position of Zonal Education Director since he reached the age of 60 on the 4th of this month. Doesn't the continued retention of this official who obtains allowances for other programs in the Provincial Education Department in addition to the wage of Zonal Education Director amount to an irregularity that can cause a breakdown in education in this zone? Governor of the Southern Province, this is over to you.
The final rites for the late Ganapathy Pillai Shanmugalingam, a veteran administrative service officer and consultant, were performed at the Boralla Cemetery today.
The body of the late Ganapathy Pillai Shanmugalingam had been brought to his residence on Ramakrishna Road in Vallavatta for the public to pay their final respects. Ganapathy Pillai Shanmugalingam, who was 76 years old at the time of his demise, was born in Achuveli in Jaffna. Shanmugalingam received his primary education from Saraswati College in Achuveli and Somaskanda College in Puttur and received his bachelor's degree in London. He also read law at the University of Colombo and entered the administrative service after passing the administrative service examination. Shanmugalingam, who served as the Assistant Director of Finance and Planning at the Jaffna District Secretariat, also served at one time as the Deputy Secretary of the Treasury. Shanmugalingam has also served as a consultant to the Capital Maharaja organization. Following religious observances at his residence this morning, the cottage departed for the Boralla Cemetery where the final rites were performed.
The 9th death anniversary of Sri Lankan veteran actor Gamini Fonseca falls tomorrow.
A Buddhist sermon was organized last night at late Gamini Fonseca's residence located Dansidimalu in Amavath in Ratmalana yesterday in view of the death anniversary. A group including relatives and friends attended the sermon conducted by Chief Incumbent of the Lankarama Vihara in Ratmalana, Ragalapanya Sekarathera.
Though it has been 9 years since his death, we feel as if he is still with us. His family members, together with his friends in cinema and politics, commemorated his death anniversary.
The The final rites for the late former Chief Minister of the North Central Province, Bertie Premalal Dissanayake, are due to be performed tomorrow.
A large crowd, including prominent politicos, gathered yesterday and today as well to pay their final respects to the late former Chief Minister.
Bertie Premalal Dissanayake passed away on Friday while being treated for an illness at a private hospital in Colombo. His body was brought to his residence in Kadapanaha, Anuradhapura yesterday, where former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga arrived last night to pay her final respects. Minister Maithripala Sirisena paid his final respects to the late Bertie Premalal Dissanayake this morning. United National Party parliamentarians, including opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe, paid their final respects to the late former Chief Minister today. The final rites are to be performed at 2 p.m. tomorrow at the Harish Chandra Stadium in Anuradhapura.
News First U reporter Chandana Kuruppuarachi filed this report from Badulla.
Badulla Pradesh Kampavata Lakkaramin.
The second infant death in the Badulla area within 24 hours was reported in the Queen Stewart estate in Haliala. The first death was reported from the Badulla railway station. The police emergency unit received a tip-off in this regard. A woman was subsequently arrested on suspicion. An infant's body was exhumed this morning at this location before Magistrate Priyadarshini De Silva.
You reporter, Badulla.
The organization Lawyers for Human Rights and Development says that the fundamental rights of workers who are recruited through the Manpower Institution are being violated.
A media briefing under the theme Protect Manpower and Contract Labourers was held in Colombo last evening. A major battle will have to be fought to win these rights. Workers at Manpower and other temporary workers are taken on the hire and fire basis. Labour laws do not apply to them. Sometimes they are considered as contractors. They are not considered to be permanent. Thereby they can be let go of at any time. A major effort will have to be taken to change the situation. It is a very serious situation. It is harmful. This is being done by depriving hundreds of thousands of labourers of a basic human right.
New Zealand A defeated Sri Lanka A by 28 runs today in the first one-day match of the team's tour of Sri Lanka, which was worked off at the Pallekele Stadium today.
The New Zealand A team, which took first leads of the wicket, posted 350 runs in their 50 overs, losing 8 wickets. Sri Lanka A opener Dimuth Karunaratne helped the Sri Lanka A team in response with a 120-run century. However, the Sri Lankan A team failed to get momentum in their batting and were bowled out for 322 after 47.4 overs.
President of the Western Province Badminton Association, L.R. Aryananda, says that he is hopeful of receiving a proper solution internationally on the concluded elections of the Badminton Association of Sri Lanka.
He expressed these views while explaining the reasons which prompted him to write to the World Badminton Association claiming that the elections were rigged.
Member of the World Badminton Association, Professor Ranjit De Silva, and the 2011 ICC Cricket World Cup country director Suraj Damdenia, who was nominated through a special permission from the Minister of Sports, contested for the post of President of the Badminton Association of Sri Lanka. The Badminton Association of Sri Lanka later released a communique stating that nominations from Professor Ranjit De Silva's faction were rejected. Ranjit De Silva's faction complained to the Director General of Sports on the 11th of March, stating the rejection of nominations was against the regulations of sports associations. As they did not get any response, the faction lodged another complaint at the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission. The Human Rights Commission instructed for the elections to be halted and for nominations to be recalled. The nominations of the professor's faction were later accepted. The elections of the Badminton Association of Sri Lanka was held on the 24th of April. However, 6 affiliated clubs did not participate. The 6 clubs wrote a letter to the Director General of Sports stating that they protest against the election, alleging that fraud was taking place to elect Suraj Damdenia. Though the Minister of Sports appointed a committee to investigate any fraud which could have taken place in the elections, the members of the committee were changed several times. The committee reported that there was no sufficient evidence to annul the elections. However, President of the Western Province Badminton Association, L.R. Aryananda, wrote to the Director General of Sports stating that the report of the committee is not just and it should not be accepted. Arinanda noted that even though the complaint was forwarded to the president, there was no response. 5 of the 11 affiliated clubs complained to the World Badminton Association on the 18th of September that the election was not held in a free and fair manner. Arinanda stated that a problem which could have been solved locally was taken to international levels as sports officials were attempting to appoint their personal favourites. When sports first inquired, the secretary to the World Badminton Association confirmed that complaints from the 5 clubs have been received and that they are inquiring into it. What is the decision of the World Badminton Association?
The Sri Lanka Air Force A team claimed victory in the Nijabima hockey tournament today.
Incidentally, a clash broke out between 2 factions at the conclusion of the tournament. The tournament, which was held at the Nandimitra Ekanayaka Synthetic Hockey Turf in Martale, was organised by the Past Pupils Association of Vijaya College, Martale.
The Air Force A team defeated the Army A team to win the finals of the tournament. Subsequently, a clash broke out between 2 factions.
And that wraps up today's edition of News First Primetime News. I'm Madhushka Balasuriya.
And I'm Shanali De Silva. Have a good night.
Good night.
First at 9.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.